All right, ladies and gentlemen, you are welcome to another great episode on your favorite political talk show, The Truth, with Ben Jokes. David Mack resigns from PDP after 27 years, joins opposition coalition. Now, no matter how you want to look at it, former Senate President David Mack joining the coalition is a big plus. Senator Mack is not a saint. He is far from being one, but he was 1,000 times a better Senate president than Godswill Akpabio and Ahmed Lawan under the APC, and this will mark the beginning of defections of big wigs into the coalition. This country needs to be rescued from the APC. Some have said, Ben Jokes, it is not about APC. For me, it is about APC. The evil that came with this party is unspeakable, and all hands must be on deck to oust them. I believe that once the APC is kicked out, things will get better in this country. That is what I believe. Look at this. Nigeria in turmoil. TINUBU's trip to St. Lucia unacceptable, inappropriate. Peter Obi, that is the fact. This is the same path that Buhari followed for 8 years, and TINUBU is on that same path. Nigeria will be burning and these guys will be touring the world. TINUBU, who will not visit terrorist victims in Nigeria, is on an irresponsible trip to a country of less than 200,000 people. And few hours ago, a very disgraceful update came out of St. Lucia after TINUBU brought negative global attention on himself once again with a declaration that is not only false, but is irresponsible and self-indicting. Concurrently, Southeast youths told TINUBU something about his bid to get Southeast votes in 2027. Something that would definitely upset the likes of Orji Uzor-Kalu, Hope Uzodinma, and Soludo. Before I show you details of these top stories and how Nigerians reacted, let me quickly show you this video. When I talk about the evil the APC has done to this country, some of you appear not to still understand. Please watch this video and get a little insight into the rot in the health sector. 75,000 nurses have fled this country in 5 years. See the video.
In recent years, Nigeria has experienced a significant exodus of nurses, with over 75,000 leaving the country within a 5 years period for reasons associated with poor working conditions, low salaries, lack of career progression opportunities, and lots more. This exodus is greatly impacting Nigeria's healthcare system, creating shortages and potentially worsening the quality of care.
So many of our nurses have relocated abroad, seeking for a better welfare, because down here in this our country, we put in a lot, but little is given to nurses. Reduced workforce. International standard of World Health Organization says 1 nurse to 4 patients, but we can't get it down here. So we are faced with acute shortage of nurses. Though our institution is trying to recruit on a yearly basis, but this staff recruitment is still minimal to fill in the gap. We are faced with acute shortage.
They should find ways of preventing burnout. They should take care of themselves too. Of course, their mental health is also important.
The nurses at the Federal Neuropsychiatric Hospital Yaba in Lagos State used the opportunity to highlight the importance of mental health care and to commemorate the 2025 International Nurses Day with the theme, "Our Nurses, Our Future, Caring for Nurses, Strengthening Economies."
You heard that. Over 75,000 nurses have left this country in 5 years. How many have we produced in that same period? The world standard says 1 nurse to 4 patients. 1 to 4. I am not sure if we have up to 1 nurse to 4,000 Nigerians, because that would amount to 50,000 nurses. We have to have like 50,000 nurses divided by our 200 million population before we can have 1 nurse to 4,000. I don't think we have up to 50,000 nurses. And even the few we have are constantly going, on strikes because the government doesn't regard them. They don't regard them as human beings. They treat them as slaves. That's why they are talking about their mental health in that video. Because the workload is much and the government doesn't pay them well. As we speak, health workers are on strike in the FCT. They've been on strike for over 2 months. If that is happening in the FCT, I wonder what the case would be in other states. We have never seen this kind of thing before, and somebody is telling me that it's not all about APC. Our best hands are leaving Nigeria in their thousands, and the APC does not care. It is in fact what they want. This same decay that we are seeing in the health sector is what we are seeing in the educational sector, agricultural sector, security-wise. Everything just falling apart. We have never had it this bad, and there are no signs that Tinubu has the desire to even turn things around. If Nigeria does not end the APC will end Nigeria. Now, let us look at the top stories. First is that update from Igbo youths telling Tinubu how he is being deceived by the Igbo governors. And next is that disgraceful update coming from St. Lucia. Tinubu brought negative worldwide attention upon himself after he made a false, unrealistic and self-indicting declaration in St. Lucia. Let's start by taking that update from Igbo youths. Look at how the papers reported it. 2027. Our governors are deceiving you. Igbo youths tell Tinubu APC. Igbo youths under the aegis of the All Igbo Youth Forum have told Bola Tinubu that governors from the southeast of Nigeria are deceiving him and the ruling APC, as the youths from the region will determine the outcome of the 2027 presidential election and not the elected politicians. Simple and short. And honestly, I will be surprised if Tinubu doesn't know this already, that no one in the southeast has the capacity to convince the Igbos to vote the wrong candidate. If Orji Kalu, Soludo, Hope Uzodinma and the likes are planning to rig for Tinubu, I can understand. But this idea of them saying the region will back Tinubu because Tinubu backed Ben Kalu to be deputy speaker, or because Tinubu gave Umahi a juicy position as minister of works, or because Tinubu did something for one southeast politician is is the joke of the century. Nobody has been able to convince the southeast to vote the wrong candidate. Go and check it from time immemorial. These people always queue behind the right candidate. So it is never going to work even if you bring money. Comedians like Dave Umahi should keep sweet-talking Tinubu and collecting their share of the subsidy removal funds. That is fine. But it is the average Igbo man that will vote. And even if Peter Obi was not a presidential candidate, Tinubu cannot win the Southeast. This is not about Obi. Even if Obi is not on that ballot, Tinubu will not get the Southeast. Point blank. Period. And just as Nigerians were yet reacting to that disgraceful update from Tinubu's visit to St. Lucia began making the rounds. Tinubu, the supposed leader of a country with 18.3 million out-of-school children, offers scholarship to students from other countries while students from his own country are on strike. Look at how the papers reported it. Tinubu offers scholarship to St. Lucia, other Caribbean students, as 18 million Nigerian children remain out of school. Bola Tinubu has offered scholarship to students from St. Lucia and other Caribbean countries to study in Nigerian universities, despite the alarming number of out-of-school children in the country. Mr. Tinubu, during his trip to St. Lucia, announced that the scholarship program for students from the Organization of Eastern Caribbean States to study in Nigerian universities will commence in the next academic year. According to a statement on Monday, Tinubu also said a proposal for visa waivers for holders of diplomatic and official passports from OECS member states is also on course. Although the number of students from the Organization of Eastern Caribbean States to benefit from Mr. Tinubu's scholarship offer is unspecified, it comes as Nigeria currently has about 18.3 million out-of-school children. According to UNICEF, 10.2 million children at the primary level and 8.1 million at the junior secondary school level are out of school in Nigeria. Also, Mr. Tinubu's scholarship offer coincides with the prevailing unprecedented economic hardship, high cost of living, and rising poverty resulting from his economic policies. International Monetary Fund reported that the poverty and food insecurity remained high under Mr. Tinubu. The World Bank's Africa Pulse report of April 2025 also stated that Nigeria under Mr. Tinubu has the highest number of extremely poor people globally, warning that more Nigerians will be plunged into poverty by 2027. That is the person that is going ahead to give scholarships to students from St. Lucia and other Caribbean countries. What a disgrace. What a global disgrace. Standing right there, reading that speech, disgracing yourself before the whole world. You have the highest number of out-of-school children worldwide. Your schools are some of the worst worldwide. Who even wants to come and study in your school? You have not fixed your educational system, and you are talking about giving scholarships to foreigners. And once again, we need to ask the question, who are the advisors of Tinubu? How can you be talking about scholarships to foreigners when you have the highest number of out-of-school children? That is the question the whole world is asking. As we speak, students in the FCT Nigeria are on strike right under Mr. Tinubu's nose. He has not done anything about it, but he's giving scholarship to foreigners. And look at how Nigerians reacted. Let's take some of the tweet reactions. This tweet here by Salako says, "Who never chop, they cook food for community? The children in Abuja where you live are out of school, Bola. Just sniff your cocaine and come back home." That is it. You have refused to tell us the reason why you went there. So do your business in secret and come back home. Stop saying all this rubbish, please. Because you have become an embarrassment, a global embarrassment. And this tweet by A Taste of Africa says, "If they can give electricity to other countries while Nigeria remains in darkness, why are you surprised about the scholarships to non-Nigerian students while millions of Nigerian children are out of school? Is Boko Haram not the thriving agenda in one Nigeria again?" That is it. Face your Boko Haram and how they are eliminating your citizens, and stop deceiving yourself thinking you can attract people from other countries. And this tweet here says, "And we have teachers and students even in that Abuja that are on strike for non-payment of salaries." What is really the big deal about this St. Lucia? Only God knows. Now only God knows wetin join Tinubu and St. Lucia. And this tweet here says, "A very wicked, selfish and useless person through and through. Millions of children are out of school in your country, but you are offering performative scholarships to kids of another country. Again, may God punish APC and all their supporters." This is a legit cause. Anybody that would support APC deserves to be cursed in this manner. Because I keep asking this question. We have several sectors in this country. Can anybody just tell me one that has improved under the APC? I don't want to hear policies. When they say, "What has Tinubu done right?" you start listing policies. You say he removed subsidy, he floated the night. Those are policies. It is results of your policies that are called achievements. So what are the achievements of APC in their 10 years in power, over 10 years in power? Now, I am willing to even take achievements of Buhari regime. Just gather everything together, put in the comment section. Let me see one good reason why Nigeria has to stick with APC. Let me see one thing that is good about the APC compared to even the PDP that we have rejected today. There's absolutely nothing good about these people. So if anybody curses an APC supporter, I support that cause 100%. Going to St. Lucia to give scholarship to them and to students from other Caribbean countries. Your schools are even in shambles. Who is even willing to come and school in Nigeria? Who? You think they don't hear the tales of how your lecturers maltreat students? Or when those ones come on scholarship, they'll be given preferential treatment. Is that what you are going to do in our schools? Is that what you are going to turn our schools to again? We have a culture of corruption, and all these strategies cannot fix it. When we fix that corruption and the nation starts working, you don't have to give scholarship to anybody. School fees increasing for indigenes, but you want to give scholarship to foreigners. What a shame. But this is the APC. They have come to kill, to steal, and to destroy, and things will never get better. If Nigerians are tired of the situation of their country and they want things to change, if we want to have a country that we can be proud of, then we must come together, keep our sentiments aside, and get rid of the APC. But until then, make I still enter town. Make I go get some ogbonge political news wey una go like. Why? Because of una na I dey here. So don't go away. Don't go away.